Okay, real world example 4, using the Gaussian elimination method with a matrix. So the question says, travel. Mohammed went to Italy during the spring break. The average daily hotel, food and transportation costs for each city he visited are shown. Write and solve a system of equations to determine how many days Mohammed spent in each city. So we have 3 cities. So we're going to use X. So Venice, this will be X, Rome will be Y, and Naples will be Z. And our total we have here. So we're asked to write and solve a system of equations. So the first thing we need to do is write and solve a system of equations. Or write a system of equations. And then we're going to use the Gaussian elimination method to solve. So we need to find how many days Mohammed spent in each city. So let's write a system of equations, and we're going to use the values that we have here. So we have 60, 40, 15, 120, 90, 10, 60, 30, 20, 720, 490, and 130. So we have 60x plus 120y plus 60z is 720. And then 40x plus 90y plus 30z is 490. 15x plus 10y plus 20z, this is 130. So next we're going to write this as an augmented matrix. So write as an augmented matrix. So we're going to use our values. So all our coefficients. So we have 60, 40 and 15, 120, 90 and 10, 60, 30 and 20, so 720, 490 and 130. So now we need to look at solving. So we're going to solve this using the Gaussian method. So we need to, this is our row 1, our row 2 and our row 3. So we're going to take each row individually, and we need to turn this into row echelon form. So this is where we're going to have the form of 1, and then we'll have a 1 and a 1, and these will be zeros. So we're looking for our matrix to look something like this, and this is in row echelon form. So the first thing we do is take row 1, so just rewrite out the matrix. So 60, 40, 15, 120, 90, 10, 60, 30, 20, 720, 490 and 130. Okay, so row 1. We're going to do something to row 1, and we want to turn row 1, so this 60, we want to turn it into a 1. So we can divide by 60, or we can say multiply by a 60th. So a 60th times row 1. So this 60 will become 1. The 120 is going to become 2. This 60 will become 1. And the 720, if we divide by or multiply by a 60th, this will be 12. So here is our matrix. So we're going to use this matrix now, and we're going to look at changing this 40. So I'm going to rewrite again. So 1, 40, 15, 2, 90, 10, 1, 30, 20, 12, 4, 90, 130. And this time I'm looking at row 2, and I need to change this 40. So what I can do is multiply row 1 by minus 40. So this would be, and then I can add this to row 2. So this becomes, if I 40 times 1 minus 40 plus 40, so this then will become 0. So let me just change this one to a 1 in red. Okay, so now 90. So minus 40 times 2, that's minus 80, plus 10, plus 90. So this will be 10. So the next one, minus 40 times 1 is minus 40, minus 40 plus 30. So this is going to become minus 10. And the last column here, so we have minus 40 times 12 plus 490. So this will be 10. So this is our new matrix. So now we need to look at changing 15. So let's just rewrite. So I got 1, 0, and this is 2, 1, 12, and 0, 10, minus 10, and 10. And our last column, we have 15, 10, 20, and 130. Right, actually I'm going to look at changing this 10 here. So I'm going to change this 10. I want to change this 10 to a 1. So what can we do to change this 10 to a 1? So if we divide by 10, so let's or multiply row 2 by a 10th, we can then change these values. So 0 divided by a 10 is 0. 10 divided by 10, well, this is going to become 1. So minus 10 divided by 10 would be minus 1. And then 10 divided by 10, this will be 1. So I'm looking, I've got my 1, and my 0. So now I'm going to look at changing my 15. So I'm going to write out my matrix again. So let's write this in red. So these are in place. So 2, 1, 12, and minus 1 and 1. And we're going to change this, this last column. So what can I do to this last column? Well, I have a 15 and I need it to be 0. So if I minus, we have a 1 here. So if I say minus 15 times row 1 and add this to row 3. So minus 15 times 1 is minus 15 plus row 3. So this becomes a 0. And then minus 15 times 2 is minus 30 plus 10. So this will become minus 20. And we've got a 20 here. So minus 15 times 1 is minus 15 plus 20. So this will be 5. And then minus 15 times 12 and is plus 130. So this will be minus 50. So now we need to look at changing this oops. We need to look at changing this minus 20. So let's rewrite out our matrix again. So we have 1, 0, 0, and 1. And 2, 1, 12. Minus 1, 1. And minus 25 and minus 50. So what can we do to make this minus 20 a 1? So we're looking for a 1. So we have a 1 in row 2. So if you multiply by row 2 by 20, and we add this to row 3, so 20 times minus 1 is minus 20. Minus 20 plus 5, minus 20 times 1 minus 20. This becomes 0. Then the next column, 20 times minus 1 is minus 20. Minus 20 plus 5 is minus 15. 20 times 1 is 20. 20 plus minus 50 is minus 30. So change that to minus 30. And here is our new matrix. So now we need to look at doing it again. So this is minus 15. So we need to change this minus 15. So 1, let's put that back in color. So we have 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. 2, 1, 12. Minus 1, 1. Minus 15, minus 30. And we're going to get rid of this minus 15. So how can we do that? Well, if we multiply by a minus 15th or divide by minus 15, so let's say minus 1 over 15 times by row 3. So these just stay as zeros. So if we divide this by or multiply by a 15th, this will become 1. And if I multiply minus 15 by minus 30, I'll have the answer as 2. Okay, so now we have our 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. This is in row echelon form. And when it's in row echelon form, we are able to solve our equation. So we can use the values that we have here. So remembering this is x, y, and z. So this would be x plus 2y plus z is equal to 12. So this will be y minus z is equal to 1. And this is going to be z is equal, wrong column. Let's write it over here. Z is equal to 2. So this works backwards now, and we just work it out and substitute the values back in. So if z is 2, this means that y minus 2 is equal to 1. So our value for y, so y is going to be 3. So now I can substitute in my value, 3. And then I go to my first equation. Well, I know that z is 2. And I know that y is 3. So x plus 2 times 3 plus 2. So x is going to be 12 minus 8. And 12 minus 8 is 4. So here are my solutions. So now just to write that. So Mohammed, he spent 4 days in Venice. That was our X. Our Y, so 3 days in Rome and 2 days in Naples. And there's our final answer.